Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to a developing story in Tanzania, it's that yesterday, President Samia Suluhu Hassan named or unveiled her new cabinet. And we wanted to do this story yesterday, but just still wanted to internalize some of the changes that have been made in that cabinet and the effect of those appointments in the whole republic. So she unveiled a new cabinet, and some of the key notable things is that President Samia Suluhu Hassan left out 7 key ministers who served in her previous government. And she has also introduced a new ministry, from what I'm getting, which is the youth ministry. And also, she has also appointed her daughter and the son-in-law, together with the son of a former president, Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, just as you have heard, to those who understand Swahili, the president appointed or unveiled her new cabinet yesterday. And she has dropped, just as I've told you, she has dropped some key ministers who served him in the last government, because she's currently serving her second and final term in office, even though that election was disputed. And unfortunately, in Tanzania, there is no legal way in which you can dispute an election. So what followed was the swearing in of the president. And according to the constitution of Tanzania, she had to now name her cabinet and start running the government. So some of the ministers who are dropped, who served in the previous government, include former Prime Minister and Energy Minister Dr. Doto Biteko. The second one is Hussein Bashe of Agriculture, Innocent Bashugwa of Home Affairs, Jenista Mgama of Health, Dr. Seleman Jaffo, who was the Minister for Industries and Trade. Then there is Dr. Pindi Chana, who was the Natural Resources and Tourism Minister, and Dr. Damas Ndamburo, who was the Constitution and Legal Affairs Minister as well. Fortunately for them, they have retained their parliamentary seats, so they will be members of parliament. I think their system of governance is unlike Kenya, where ministers are picked from a pool of professionals, or right now they are called cabinet secretaries. They are picked from a pool of professionals. Once you cannot serve as a member of parliament and a minister at the same time, because there is that conflict of interest. You cannot be in the executive and in the legislature at the same time. So Kenya, after promulgating the new constitution, the 2010 constitution, had to separate the two, whereby you are either in the executive or in the legislature. And in President Samia Suluhu Hassan's new lineup, she has appointed Tanzania's ambassador to China, Mr. Hamis Musa Omar, as the finance minister. And some of the key notable inclusion in the current government is the appointment of Ridhiwani Jakaya Kikwete. He's the son of the former president, Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete. And also, he has been named as the minister in the office of the president and is going to be in charge of public service management and good governance. We are also being informed that the son of the former president, Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete, is a very influential guy in President Samia Suluhu Hassan's government, in that even during the primaries, President Samia Suluhu Hassan made sure that he was guaranteed to return to parliament by naming him as the only candidate for Chalinze seat on a CCM ticket. So in politics, such kind of people, if you see them in politics, it means something could be happening behind the scenes. Maybe according to me, what I'm trying to see here is the next person to watch in Tanzania. And according to our sources, it seems like the guy is being groomed to take over from President Samia Suluhu Hassan. So ideally, he could be the next king come the next election. So is someone who is to be watched keenly heading into their next general election, which will take place in the next 5 years. But President Samia Suluhu Hassan has also nominated the former finance minister Mwigulu Nchemba as the prime minister. He was sworn in just a few days ago. So one funny thing that also came out is the fact that the president has named or has appointed her daughter and son-in-law to the cabinet, which raises the question that were they nominated on were they appointed on a merit basis? Do they deserve those positions? And were there no other individuals within Tanzania who could serve in that capacity? Because this is something that I've seen in almost all East African countries. In Uganda as well, President Museveni appointed key members of his family in key government positions. And the question that people have been asking, even in Kenya here, the same has been happening. You find that very, very influential people in government appoint their relatives to key government positions. Sometimes it's not based on merit, even though other people might say that they have professional qualifications, but these are political appointments where vetting is not done, and someone just wakes up and says so and so is going to serve in this ministry, and nothing happens. And when such people get into such positions, they don't put in more effort to at least try and deliver, because they know they have the backing of their godfather or their godmother. So, and then some of the people that that are serving under them feel kind of intimidated, and they will not get out there and do their work in a professional way. There is this kind of an aura of fear that crops in. So the question that we'd want to ask was, were they appointed on merit basis? And I would want to hear about you. Comment. What do you think? You can comment on the video down below so that we can get your feedback, and we'll sample some of your feedbacks at the end. We'll sample some of your feedback in our subsequent videos. But what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think these appointments were made on a merit basis? There's also another issue that President Samia Suluhu Hassan did not address, because in the last address that she had in Parliament, it was like the State of the Nation address to Tanzanians. she made, she, it was like a State of the Nation address to Tanzania because she was in parliament, and she made a commitment that some of the young guys who were arrested during the demonstrations were going to be released. But up to now, what we are getting is that these young guys have not been released, and they were being charged for treason. And the question that some of the guys we are talking to from Tanzania are asking is that, was that just a public pronouncement without any effect? Because if she had talked about it then, up to now, there should have been some action from the public prosecution office, whereby some of these guys would have been released, because they know they already know who is supposed to be charged for which offense. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep monitoring what's going on in Tanzania, and we'll keep you guys posted. But if you have any feedback, you can comment on the video down below, and we'll sample some of your comments in our subsequent videos. But if you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye bye.